Good day, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Two Maesters. And today we're talking about Fallout TV show. Woo! Or as it's listed on Wikipedia, Fallout brackets American TV show, which I guess it is. It's just weird that they say that. Oh, hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Morgan. I think the reason they do it is because not to confuse people with like nuclear fallout.
Yeah, the actual Fallout.
The actual Fallout, but who would actually... But anyways.
Well, when it happens, it will be confusing, won't it? When we're actually all in bunkers underground. Anyway, on that positive note, hi, Bex. We have a guest on the show.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Bex.
Lol joke, I know you already. What's your favourite biscuit?
I'm not sure if it counts as a biscuit, but I do like the fig roll.
Oh my god.
A fig roll, just one fig roll.
I like fig rolls as well. Can I just say well
Jaffa
done?
cakes, not technically a biscuit, but I also like them.
They are on the biscuit aisle in supermarkets though.
But
so.
they are really nice.
Yeah, amen, I agree. So we're not here to talk about biscuits today. Today we're here to talk about the Fallout TV show. So any of our billions of listeners out there who may have heard our episode about Fallout in general, we talked about the game and the production and the wider universe, as well as hype building up to the TV show. And now we're going to talk about the TV show today, but we're also going to talk about the game because there's no way we can untangle the two. So just to start things off, I thought, let's see what Wikipedia describes the Fallout TV show as. Fallout is an American post-apocalyptic drama television series created by Graham Wagner and Geneva Robertson Dvorak for Amazon Prime Video, based on a role-playing video game franchise created by Tim Kaine, Leonard Boyarsky, wow, great name, and the series stars Ella Purnell, Aaron Moulton, Kyle MacLachlan, Moises Arias, Zelia Mendes-Jones, and Walton Goggins. Wow, that was a mouthful. Do we agree with that description of the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really go into detail exactly what it is. It just kind of assumes you know. But as all our viewers know, Fallout is a post-apocalyptic world-exploring game with a very distinct Americana style, which is awesome. So I've played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and watched a TV show. Bex, what have you dipped into with the Fallout franchise?
Well, same as you, actually. I started on 3.
Yeah.
Yep, then New Vegas.
Nice, yeah.
4. I played 76 on someone else's console because I wasn't bothered to buy it because it was a buggy mess.
The reviews were awful, actually. I actually forgot to say, I did play Fallout 76 twice, and I do have that on my Steam, but literally played it twice and then never again. What about you, Josh?
For me, I think I came like really late to Fallout. 'Cause it wasn't until like Fallout 4 because I'd recently got like an Xbox, Xbox One at the time, and then Xbox did their huge E3 conference with like Bethesda, and then they showed off Fallout 4, and then Bethesda afterwards were like, oh, we've got a conference after Xboxes, and they were like, yeah, we're announcing it, it'll be out this holiday season. So I was like, damn, like literally they've announced it, it's now coming out 4 months later, so I bought the game, really enjoyed it, because the first game from Bethesda I played was like Elder Scrolls 5, so I really enjoyed that game.
Until you got an arrow to the knee.
True.
I had to say it.
And then I think, funny enough, like I mentioned earlier on this podcast, is that I've never finished it. Like
Fallout 4?
No, not Fallout 4.
Oh, the Elder Scrolls.
So like I played it on 360, I've played it on PC, I've played it on Xbox One, I've played it on Xbox One X, I've played it on Xbox Series X. But never finished it because like each time a big other game came out. So like when I first got like Elder Scrolls the first time, I got that late as well, and then I got into like the Assassin's Creed series, and then got into The Witcher. That took up a whole lot of my time.
Yeah. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
And then like Fallout 4 took a lot of my time, and then also...
Well, you're playing games that like you can't just play in like 30-minute bursts. So you need to like sit down for a good 4 hours.
Yeah, I really struggle to finish Bethesda games myself.
Yeah.
I started with Morrowind, then the other one, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4, then Skyrim,
of course.
Fallout. Yeah. You just end up just faffing about the wasteland and just following the wrong path. And you're like, ooh, look, some vegetables and some crabs.
Collecting cabbage,
throwing cheese wheels off a mountain. Oh, wait, what's the actual story?
And all the mods for Skyrim as well. Like, they must still be going. And it's interesting because of this Fallout TV show coming out. I think Bethesda made like a new gen update for Fallout 4, which I've heard mixed stuff about. But people are now like, all the mods that people had for Fallout 4 aren't compatible with this new gen thing. So there's gonna be plenty more coming, basically.
Yeah, and even just based on that, I think like IGN announced Fallout 4 is the biggest game in Europe right now, just because of like the TV series. So people who had bought the game had now gone back to play it.
I just downloaded and started playing Fallout Vegas last night, actually. And you know what? I started like maybe I want to play Helldivers again, but then I've literally then suddenly 3 hours later I was still playing Fallout New Vegas. It's the best one in my opinion. I think so. So with the TV show. Interesting because a bit of history here for you is that this is not the like first time someone other than Amazon Prime Video wanted to make a TV show or film adaptation. So according to Todd Howard, who's the god mastermind behind Fallout and Bethesda were approached multiple times by various different proposers to do a TV show or film about Fallout, especially since the Fallout 3 release in 2008, because it won Game of the Year and it was so popular and it really put the Fallout series out there. However, he felt that none of the proposals met the vision of the Fallout game series. So Bethesda marketing executive Pete Hines in 2015 said there's way more things that could go wrong with an adaptation right now. A poor movie or TV show adaptation could have a big impact on a series. So, for example, the 2005 Doom movie. Did you see that?
I did watch that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Doom was a particularly intelligent game. It's very, like, violent, straight in your face, especially the new ones. I love those. Have you played them?
They're really fun.
They're really good.
Oh, yeah. Really fucking violent. Just literally executing demons and stuff. But, yeah, you see that they were quite worried about that. And then one day, Jonathan Nolan, who's... did I say John? Yeah, Jonathan Nolan. So Jonathan Nolan, who's the brother of Christopher Nolan, aka Batman, best fucking Dark Knight series ever.
Martha. Don't fall in love with me.
You're doing the Batman versus Superman. We need to talk about that movie as well. That was entertaining watching, actually. So Jonathan Nolan, an avid player of the Fallout game series, one day approaches Todd Howard with a TV adaptation proposal. And Todd Howard was very impressed by the work he'd been doing already on, say, the Westworld series, which is, again, absolutely bloody amazing. Have you seen Westworld?
I have, but I stopped in, I think, season... What did it get up to? The first season was incredible. Yeah.
Season 2 was good, but then I sensed the feeling it was going downhill, and I haven't watched the third one. But
yeah, same. I haven't watched the third one.
Yeah, exactly. Says a lot. Uh-oh. It's what did they say in The Dark Knight? You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Thank you. So, what do we think of the TV show overall? How would you rate it out of 10?
I would say, like, if I have to give like decimal points, like 8.9.
8.9. I think generous.
The reason why I like it so much is because it feels Fallout to me. And I think maybe because it's like some of my friends who've watched it and have played like the older series like Fallout 2, New Vegas or 3, they kind of feel like, oh, it's kind of pandering more to 4. But because I've only played like Fallout 4, I've actually not had that much knowledge of like how big the lore is, how big the different devices are within the game. But then, for example, in like one of the episodes, when you see like the droid, the annoying droid,
Mr. Codsworth.
Yes, yeah. And you actually get to see later on in the series the voice actor as well.
Oh, Matt Berry. I love that guy, honestly.
And then the fact that he's like, the fact that he's like at the party. Spoilers there.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. So how much?
Spoilers are allowed on the show, by the way.
How much did you sell the voice for? And I was just thinking like. James L. Jones also did that as well. Like
with Batman Vader.
Darth Vader,
So he's no longer Darth Vader. So he did like recordings with Lucasfilm and with Disney, and he's given the rights to his voice as Darth Vader in all perpetuity, but will be getting paid, and so will his estate.
But does that mean like they basically use a computer to do his voice.
So then he says like multiple phrases, probably similar to like a voice actor in a video game. And then they can then combine it. They then can then pick up on the patterns. And then that's probably what they did within like the Fallout universe, to have him say so many different varying, the robot to say many different varying
Oh my
things.
God. So does that mean, assuming that Star Wars they keep making more Star Wars movies?
They will keep making more.
Does that mean his descendants will like be receiving money for the rest of their lives just based on his...
Yes.
God, even his ancestors will be looking back or looking forward and like, thank God for this member of our family. We've got universal income now.
All of his ancestors just chilling at Villa Vader.
Yeah, Villa Vader. That's a great name for a villa, I must say.
Yeah, driving his Dorf Ducati.
So what do you think of the show? How would you rate it out of 10?
Hovering around the 8 mark. Even though I played the older games, I don't remember much of it. Well, I've revised slightly. I've gone back to them to revisit some of the plot lines and all that.
Oh, right.
Just to prepare, because it's been a long time since I was 13.
Me too, funnily enough.
It's been some time. But yeah, I really like it. Strong outfit, strong concept.
Yeah.
I love the show Justified, and Walter Goggins plays basically a similar character.
Yeah, he always plays some kind of outlaw or cowboy or like henchman.
It's a southern drawl.
Yeah, he was great at it, I've got to say. I would give the show I would give it an 8 out of 10. I felt like the first 2 episodes, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. Like, is this going to be a comedy? Is this going to be like a grimdark science fiction, like Warhammer, etc.? Or what other grimdark things have we spoken about?
Dune is kind of grimdark at times.
Dune, that's true. Yeah.
Twilight.
Twilight. You sparkle in the light.
Hop on, Spider Monkey.
We actually are doing a Twilight episode at some point soon. I can't wait for that. So I was a bit confused with the first 2 episodes. I don't know I think I was hungover when I watched both of them, so I wasn't like feeling too strong about them, but I really warmed to the series as it went along. I think they've definitely got the Americana vibe of it really well done, like the music, the design of things, posters, billboards, how people look in it, that sort of American dreaminess to like people in the vault, and then the disgustingness outside of the vault. And we'll talk about all the silly moments very shortly. I thought that was good.
Just incredible soundtrack.
Oh, I know, I love it. It brings back, if you played the video games, the nostalgia of hearing those songs. Like, I think it's the end of the 2nd or 3rd episode where it has the Ink Spots song on it.
What is it? I don't want to set the world on fire.
Yeah, I forgot you have a good voice. I'm glad I brought you along.
Just sing some WAP.
Yeah. Of course. Like, one thing that's interesting is it's not just reproduced the TV show, not just reproduced the games, but it's actually given us a bit more. Like, for example, you see a lot more pre-war stuff in it throughout the series. So starting off with finding out, the icon of Fallout, like what the hell that was all about with the thumb. Yeah. It's like, the little girl asked, "Daddy, why'd you put your thumbs up?" Like,
that was perfect. Especially like, I didn't know that. My brother did, maybe because he'd read up on like stuff to do with Fallout. But then, because when he is in the scene, he's like, "Oh, do the thumbs up thing," and he says, "Not really. It's not a good time." And I was like, "What does he mean? Is it because he's having like a divorce that he doesn't want to pretend to be happy?"
Those 2 guys were talking shit about his divorce as well, weren't they? I know, and it's like, well, if it's smaller than your thumb, you're just fine.
And you need to run.
If it's bigger than your thumb, there's no point running.
And I just loved that scene of it, because she was like, "Is it your thumb or mine?" And then the dad was like, "Wait, what?" And then the fact you didn't see the explosion, you just saw her expression. And then you could kind of see the explosion like in the glass behind her. When he then turns around, he's like, "Oh no, it's just a fire." And then when you then see it, and then you see the elevation of it, and you're like, "Oh,
you're
fuck."
fucked.
And then you see like there's multiple across the city as well, and it's like, you really are fucked.
And very scenic that he's running with his little girl on a horse. Riding away on a horse. It's like kind of, because that's
sunset. Well, not sunset, just explosion set.
Yeah, it's kind of beautiful imagery, even though it's like goddamn awful. It's kind of beautiful in a way, and that's we said about the wasteland in Fallout 3, Fallout 4, New Vegas is it's bloody hideous, but it's like it has its moments of beauty, you know, like there's some really good scenes in it. So, you know, Fallout centers around three sort of characters or like three sort of settings. You have the Vault, which is, I actually can't remember, Vault 33?
Yeah.
Which is
1, 2, and 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And oh boy, the revelation that happened on that in the last episode. With you've got Lucy McLean, who's the McLean,
no relation
more like
to what's it, Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis from Die Hard, exactly. I saw that trivia as well. Lol. And so you have Lucy McLean, who's being played by Ella Purnell, who is born in Whitechapel in London. Yeah, that's right. See, London's got talent still. You have her storyline, born in a role. Her daddy's the overseer. She's got a brother who's not unenthusiastic in everything she does. Then you have the other storyline, which is the Ghoul, also known as Cooper Howard, who you saw before, pre-war, who is the dammest, coolest cowboy in the entire show. I really feel like he steals every scene he's in, even though with all that ghoulish makeup on, it's hard to see his facial expressions sometimes. It's his eyes and just how he talks as well, like fear fue muerte, or whatever he says. It's pretty badass. And then you have Maximus, who starts off as a scribe for a Brotherhood of Steel Knight.
A squire.
Squire,
Squire, yeah, that's it. And a lot of weird stuff, because we think about timelines, and this is actually, compared to the video games, this is the Fallout furthest in the future within the series. So if I bring up the exact figure, so this is set in 2296, whereas the other Fallouts are all before it. So a lot is actually, it's not that they're only just replicating the Fallouts, but actually progressing the story. So for example, the Brotherhood of Steel really isn't what it used to be. Like, for example, when you come across Knight Titus at first, he's a massive cunt. He's like, clean my crotch plates, Squire.
No, the thing, I recognize the actor. He was Phoebe's boyfriend at one point, the police officer who
Really?
shot the bird out the window.
He's a famous comedian. I always forget his name.
Rappaport.
Yeah.
And another thing we'll pick up on is all the cameos in Fallout is fantastic. The Brotherhood isn't what it used to be. The New California Republic, which was one of the main protagonists in, I think, Fallout 2, but also Fallout New Vegas, is no more, but it's more that it's just the California chapters ruined. Apparently, they're still going on the New California Republic, but they got nuked pretty bad. So, yeah, things have progressed a lot. The Wasteland's still a shithole, though.
But it kind of feels like it's a lot worse and it's more sparsed out. And I think that's what's happened with the drop of the nukes that we find out later on in the city of, what is it called again?
Shady Sands.
I keep messing that up. They did a really good job of making it like a MISC suburban paradise name. It could have been anything. Sandy Wells, Shady Sands.
Springwell Goods.
And the fact that you then see, like, at times with like Fallout, you see like more people in the games, but it kind of felt like it was more, it felt as if the bombs had recently been dropped, less of like within the games, though it happened so long ago, it didn't affect that much. And I think that was one of the big shocks in the series, is that realizing that multiple, possibly also for fans who haven't played the games, is that there's been multiple apocalypses because multiple nuclear weapons have been dropped throughout the Fallout series. So it isn't just the initial one you see at the beginning.
Yeah, with the Great War, yeah.
It also happens constantly. And I think
because war never changes.
and that's one of the issues. People said once you've already dropped it and everyone knows the results, then the people are like, well, if humanity can technically survive, we can just do it again. And again, and again, until we get it right.
Like cockroaches, yeah, exactly. And boy, is it beautiful. Some of the camera shots there, like when she first comes out of the vault and she's by the beach and there's a Ferris wheel. And it's like, this would be a great time to play some Nicki Minaj, like, going to the beach.
Starships.
Exactly, in that radioactive water.
It's really beautiful. It also helps that she's very beautiful as well.
Oh my God, like Ella Purnell's eyes are the biggest eyes I've ever seen. She's gorgeous, and she looks the American dream part. Like, the posters for the Fallout TV show have been almost like Borderlands cartoonish, you know, like as in Borderlands, the video game. But she looks like someone from the American Dream posters. She is beautiful, hands down.
And I think one thing that they really did work really well is when she's in the scene where the ghoul has kept her captive, and the fact that you then start to see her eyes start to come redder and redder, that you then able to then see the sickness progress.
What, from the radiation?
Yeah, because I thought that it was just tiredness, but then when she then meets with like Maximus, who's parading as Knight Titus, that she actually has radiation poisoning.
Yeah, I suppose that's what I thought, but I just can't remember the thing about her red eyes. I guess because I'm so used to seeing certain people's red eyes.
I mean, my eyesight was too poor anyway to see the screen from there.
Yeah.
I could see her, but not her eyes.
I was just so dumbstruck every time Ella Purnell was on the screen that I just couldn't look anywhere else. I think she really killed it acting-wise, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say, like, all three of them.
Yeah.
Because, like, with Maximus, you kind of feel like he's a coward, but not in a coward that you normally, like, put them in, like, oh, this box that he's always scared of everything. It's more of, like, he's scared, but then is able to then persevere through it and is extremely ambitious.
Well, yeah, you know the bit at the beginning how, you know, he wants to go out in a field, but he misses. He doesn't get picked. Then his colleague who does get picked gets their foot sliced up by a razor blade in their shoe. I spent the whole show thinking he's done it. Like, he's actually like, is he a good person or is he like an anti-hero? But then they say they just did it deliberately because they were scared of going out into the field. Then he lets Knight Titus die as well. I'm like, it's a bit cold, even though Knight Titus was an a-hole.
Yeah, so, and I think that's part of like his story and also his character expanding is that when he then meets with Lucy, is that he then becomes like more of the person he wants to be.
Yeah.
He then thinks like, oh, you know what? Once I become one of the Knights of the Brotherhood of Steel, I can then become like this savior, and like this person who saved me, I can be like him. But then it's his understanding that he doesn't need the armor; he can still be as heroic. And
exactly.
Like, spoiler here, like when they go to Vault 4, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was episode 6 or episode 7, where he steals like their nuclear reactor. The fact that she's like, you don't really need it, you should give it back. But previously, early on in the season, he probably would have been like, fuck them, I'm taking this nuclear reactor.
Screw them. My favorite quote from him is, so you still want to make my cock explode? Oh my God, that was one of the best quotes in the show. Who would you say is your favorite character in the show?
I mean, I think that Walter Goggins gets all the good lines.
Yeah.
And he's just such an incredible actor. It's such stage presence. He reminds me of Pedro, who played the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even see his face properly because it's all covered in prosthetics. But the presence when he walks into a room,
and the eyes as well, the speech as well. Yeah. I'd say my favorite character has to be the guy who voices, just the Mr. Gusty. Like, I wish there were more scenes of Mr. Gusty. Like, oh, don't be afraid. I just want to harvest your organs.
Yeah,
huh?
That was funny. He's like, oh, I thought I'd be a sex slave. Oh, no, we would never do something that's awful. We're just harvesting your organs.
Yeah. That's what I love about the Fallout thing. It's really grim, dark, and depressing at times, but it's also a satire, and it's so goofily funny that it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, also, Bob Weston, the really annoying corporate executive from Vault Tech, and he becomes that brain at the end. And when you find out the secret behind Vault 31, oh damn! Who was your favorite character?
I would say the Ghoul as well. I think he did steal the scene, especially when they go to Philly. And like when he walks in and then just shoots off like the doctor's foot off, like bam, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he then's just like passing jokes where like tens of people are shooting at him or the fact that he's like, oh, these cherry tomatoes are nice, I'd offer you one, but you've got a hole in your neck.
You got a hole in your neck. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was brilliant. One thing I found a bit of weird thing is, you know, in the final episode, you have the big fight between the Brotherhood and what was her name? Moldava,
Moldava, yeah.
who are supposed to be like a offshoot of the New California Republic, but they're kind of like rogue. He confronts the ghoul, confronts the Brotherhood of Steel, and is like, "So you're wearing a T-60, huh? Well, there's one problem with it. If you shoot below this panel, it's exposed." How come in the beginning, when he was fighting Maximus, aka Titus, you know, in Philly, which I'll tell you a fun fact about. How come he didn't shoot him in the sensitive area then? Do you remember at the beginning that they had that big shootout and he's shooting at Titus for ages? Oh, sorry, Maximus for ages. How come? That was a bit of a weird discontinued, like a plot hole.
It's like main character energy. They have these shields that just auto-generate from inside them.
Plot armor. It's the strongest armor of them all.
I guess also he was just being such an idiot because I guess he didn't meet the ghoul before, doesn't know his capabilities, and was trying to beat the big hero.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
in front of the girl. Yeah,
like they're not even understanding the situation. Like he could have been in the right, but no, I'm here to save the day.
I know, and he does that twice. Do you remember when Lucy finds out the truth of Vault 4, tells him, but he's too comfortable and enjoying it. But then he's sitting there with his popcorn and he sees stuff going on. He's like, okay, time to rescue the maiden in need.
Damsel in distress.
Yeah, and he comes in the big armor and like,
milady.
Yeah, and like he thought they were going to execute her or something, but really they just setting her slap on the wrist and letting her go. Yeah. And he literally punches some guy so hard.
Thank goodness he had armor on.
yeah. And like Lucy tells him, and he's like, sorry. Someone check that guy out. I mashed him up really bad. He's great.
He smashed the goods as well. They were given so many supplies.
Yeah, that's true.
All the Nuka-Colas and food.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big surprise, I think, from the whole series was like Vault 4. Like when Maximus first said, they're a cult. They're all smiling. It must be some form of cult. And then when you saw like above their room and they're like healing up, when it said test subjects, you were then, oh my days, have they gone into a vault where they then test on people?
Yeah.
And then maybe that's why that woman is so compliant. But then you realize it is technically a cult, but it's like...
For Moldava, yeah.
But it's not like they're doing evil. They're actually doing things to help those, so people who are surface dwellers can then come to the vault to actually live. And I think the fact that when he brought out the sword, like the knife, I was like, he's going to cut off her hands.
He's going to behead her.
First I thought he was going to cut off her hands. And that was the punishment. You've done harm with these hands. You must now lose those hands. But then he was like, execution. I was like, wow. And then he's like, by letting you go. And then the fact that he's like...
there's moments like that, honestly.
He's great. What is he? He's a doctor on 30 Rock. Dr. Spaceman. Dr. Spaceman.
Yeah. Well, I think the guy who voiced him, this is the one-eyed guy, Vault Overseer from Vault 4. I'm pretty sure that's the voice of Jerry from Rick and Morty. I'm almost certain that's the voice of Jerry. It sounded very much like him. It's just a bit hard to... Because, you know, when you hear, a lot of voice actors, you don't actually know what they look like. Yeah. Well, it's even harder for him because he's got a CGI'd as one eye, so I'm not even sure if it is the voice of Jerry, but it sounded a lot like him. I will say that. Yeah, very cool with that Vault 4. But that's a bit of Fallout lore I really love, is that all these vaults that were built by Vault Tech.
Yeah.
You find this out in a TV show, of course, is that they're all just social experiments. So in the actual Fallout lore, there's over 100 that were built around the USA. Only 17 of them were not social experiments, but they were control groups. Okay. So like in, like science, you have a control group where you don't do anything with.
Science.
Yeah. Science, bro. But then everything else is a social experiment. And I love all the different social experiments you might come across. So there's one where they had like a cloning machine, and in Fallout 3, when you eventually discover it, you find it's populated by clones of one guy called Gary, and all they can say is, I'm Gary. Is
Gary.
One of the funniest ones, yeah. Then there's other ones as well, like there's one where they play a low-pitched low frequency noise the entire time to see what it does to people, and it obviously drives them nuts. Another one is they pump psychedelics in. It's nuts.
And funny enough, just before rewatching the TV series yesterday, my brother was like, the ones that he remembers is like, there's one that they had one man and full of women, then they had another vault where it was one woman full of men, and then there was
Jesus.
one that was the weirdest one is that there was a experiment where they told them that they had to do a sacrifice once a year.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, the fact that they didn't have to do it, and when they then decided that we don't have enough, oh yes, you've passed the test.
They and let them free. Yeah. Oh, that one's so dark. I was listening to a podcast about that yesterday, actually. Yeah, really, really dark.
I really liked one that I don't think it actually came to pass because it was one of the last ones to be built. The one where they would just purposely gather all the richest, most powerful people in like Northeast America, like socialites, executives, high-level politicians, and shove them into what they described as a luxurious vault where you would only rub shoulders with other really rich people. But actually, it was like Fire Festival kind of energy. It's really cramped quarters, shared bathrooms, mold, that shit.
Yeah. That's the one vault I'm actually happy that exists.
Unfortunately, it didn't, because the overseer actually had morals, and like, to the time that they were meant to seal off the gate, they just went, nah, fuck this shit, we're just gonna like stop it. It just didn't happen. It was so sad.
No, that's a shame. That was the one vault that would have been okay.
But one thing that I read an article about is funny that the vaults kind of like mirror like reality TV and reality TV game shows that we have.
Oh, right.
That we always like put in like, a parameter, Big Brother, group of people for X amount of time, people get eliminated, and there will be then a winner. Or we're going to put people for like Love Island, people on an island, and then someone was like, the fact they might have taken it from that, but it's the similarities between a controlled environment with the vaults, and then the way that we have then controlled environments for all these reality TV shows, like Naked and Afraid, where you have groups. It's an American-based show. Where you've got groups of individuals who are left out in the jungle. Some people, it's in the wilderness, and they then must survive. And if they then survive long enough, they then get money. And I think America does it the most. They've even got one called like Survivor, where they've got two teams who have to then compete against each other to win maybe like 100,000 or $1 million.
Oh, right.
And then you just then think like, how much of these reality TV shows, if you then expanded them, put them into a vault, you would then think that they actually would be funny vaults. Like imagine if they had like a big,
vault.
or a Big Brother vault where it's like
Vault 88.
that you then have to pick off someone that you want to then be kicked out of the vault that no one really liked.
They have to wear big wigs the whole time, the entire time.
So okay, well that brings me on. So I had some questions prepared. If you were stuck in a vault, if a social experiment for that vault was to play the same song over and over again for eternity, what song, if you were able to choose what song you're stuck in that vault with, what would you choose?
Funny enough, I'd probably take elevator music.
Yeah, because
it's something that you can listen in the background and you can...
You're not allowed to you can't turn down the volume in this scenario.
you can just block it out.
Yeah, you can block out elevator music, but think about it, like if...
What?
No, like the classical ones where it's like... You can block that out, but if someone picks like heavy metal that's blazing with you...
The bodies hit the floor.
and like you're about to go to bed, then the chorus comes out again, bam, into your ears. It's like, I'm going to kill that person who chose that song.
So you have to go to work in 9 to 5.
Well, that would be a great social experiment. You basically let everyone... You let one part, whoever's the overseer gets to choose a song for their reign, and like people will eventually kill you because they don't know.
Or even better, the way that they do it is that the song is picked. The song is picked like privately. Nobody knows who's picked the song, but then it keeps getting louder and louder bit by bit. And then you have to then kill who created this, who picked the song. And if you don't, the song will just keep getting louder and louder. And the person who actually kills the person, then and if nobody knows, they then get to choose the song.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be a great vault. I mean, and I'd definitely choose Rebecca Black, Friday. It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down. Oh, it's not Friday. Everyone would kill themselves, I think, after a while.
But you just whap.
Yeah.
Right in this little garage, make it cream, make you scream.
Well, like, imagine you were actually in a vault with, like, pop stars who had paid their way in as well. Like, Iggy... Wait, that's not Iggy Azalea. Who sings that song?
Cardi B.
Cardi B, that's
and,
it.
Megan Thee Stallion.
That would be a cool vault to be stuck in.
But I think another thing with like the vaults that also comes into effect is that you then have to then have some form of like communism, like communal society. So then if you're then bumped with a lot of like elite or pop stars, then you're like, okay, then you need to now go and sow the fields so the crops will go. You need to do that. You need to do this. You need to do that. They will just probably say, no, I'm a pop star. Why don't you do it? And then that would then start to grate on your nerves, which could potentially be like a Volt social experiment, is that you have the elite of the elite. And you've also got those who are working class, full on manual labor. That then do you get to the stage that the people with manual labor, like, you know what, you work or you don't eat.
Exactly.
And then you have to then force them to then learn the skills from those who actually have and actually do actual manual labor.
In a fiction, of course. Have you seen a movie called The Triangle of Sadness?
No.
It's on Netflix at the moment. It's very much similar to what you're talking about. It's like a black comedy, but it's really good. I'd really recommend watching that. Okay. If you owned one of these vaults and you had to pick a social experiment, what would you choose as a social experiment? You're not in this vault, but what would you be studying?
I want to put the rich people into that. Make them like,
You can't steal his idea.
I just
That's
want
copyright.
them to just like make Fire Festival a vault and charge them stupid amounts of money to go to it and
and then the same song's just playing over and over again.
Oh yeah, that's a song.
Well,
You're
this shit like
beautiful. You're beautiful.
It's true. Fucking James Blunt.
The seal. Da 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 da. You gotta do that. Oh my God.
That'd be pretty good.
That'd be good.
I think if I was going to choose a social experiment, I would put people in the vault, but say to them that you're in this vault by yourself, no one else is here. But then slowly introduce one by one just to see what people are like in isolation and see what happens when they meet new people and what will happen as well.
Wow. And funnily enough, I only know this because I play a game like Crusader Kings, and they had like a discussion concerning social experiments back in the Middle Ages, and the king asked for a social experiment of like a baby to be taken into the wilderness, have a wet nurse, but have no human interaction to see how it would behave, how it would grow up, and I think it died like at 3.
Oh, jeez.
And they said potentially they counted it as like because of like lack of human interaction. So then the issue potentially with your vault is that some people would actually love it because they have like time to themselves.
They're introverted.
But then you have, but imagine like you think you're the only one there and then have someone brought in that you don't like at all.
Yeah, that's true. Like literally, they slowly bring in one by one. It's people from your family that you hate or friends that you hate. Just people that you hate. That would be a very toxic fault.
I mean, they do that on, reality shows.
Yeah.
Where they're at this dinner with your friends and then suddenly the person you hate the most just wonders, oh, hi. Oh, hello.
Oh, hi, bitch.
How was your day? Oh, you're wearing last season's shoes, I see. Okay. It's awful. No, I mean, just gather a collection of really annoying or high drama people and put them into a room together. Like maybe Kanye West and someone who just like, people who would blow up or
Kim
very
Kardashian.
egocentric.
Yeah.
Like,
Cat Williams would be another one.
Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Trump
all in one room. Yeah.
You know, I have for some reason, like somehow, some idea in my head that if there was a nuclear holocaust, for some reason Trump would survive. And it would be
even bigger
such an awful
like
show. Yeah, exactly. He would be, yeah. That'd be messed up. So, this is some of the stuff I love about Fallout. The lore about the vaults and stuff and all the different what-if scenarios. It's amazing. So going back to the game, like, I think it's good to talk about some sort of key moments and the revelation at the end that Vault 33 is like the American dream. It's all good and goody gumdrops on the surface. Yep. But what's actually going on in there and what was going on in Vault 32? And you find out essentially that Vault 31, this triumvirate vault system, 31, 30, 50, 33, all of the overseers for Vault 33 were coming from Vault 31. Norman, who's Lucy McLean's brother, is like checks it out eventually, and Well, he finds out that it's bloody Vault-Tec with all their executives in cryogenic stasis. They're slowly being fed back into the 32 and 33 to essentially create a super society of corporate executives. How like depressingly corporate is that?
Oh yeah, it kind of reminds me kind of like, you know, when a pharaoh would die and then he would pack in all his servants with him as well.
Yeah,
kind of like Vault-Tec were like, you know what? If the apocalypse happens, we need to take all our middle management with us.
Yeah.
So then we don't have to do the work; they can do all the work for us.
That guy, Bud, whatever, he's like, what's the solution to human organization? Management. And he's that brain at the end, Bud, whatever. He's such a corporate irritant, honestly. But very cool. Very, very cool. So that was definitely a cool key moment. What any cool key moments for you guys? I have a list, so whilst you're thinking, I can shoot through a few.
I think when Lucy goes into Vault 4, and I think this is excellent by like the writers and also the camera, that she sees the chalkboard of everything that's happened. So therefore, for those who have kind of like
the history,
don't know the history or have played certain games, not the others, they can actually see in order how everything has happened.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important because they could have been like, oh, flashback here, flashback there, or did you know at this point this happened? But the way that they just had it like perfectly in a classroom saying these are the important dates, and you could actually pinpoint and say, okay, that happened then, and this is where we are now.
Yeah, that's quite handy. I guess for people who've played the game is ready, because it's like trying to work out where it comes in chronologically with the other Fallouts, but we find out it's the furthest in the future. I really like all the references to the game as well. Like, for example, someone gets shot in it or they get their foot blown off. You just take hit it with a stim pack and it's fine. Like, remember the dog meat?
Yeah, got stabbed. Yeah,
pretty much dies from that stabbing, and then stim pack. He doesn't die from the stabbing, but the stim pack's fine. You don't see the ghoul patch him up in any way as in a real medical scenario.
Yeah.
And then Maximus gets shot, when they're crossing the bridge at that one point, and they're there's two people over there, and like, put your hands up or something.
Yeah, and the fact that you find out later they use teeth for ammo. Yeah. And like, I think the one thing that really shocked Lucy at the time was that all the shit that's going on, you've got people killing people, you've got mutated animals, but also you have people that are cannibals. Like, really, like, how far has humanity gotten to this stage?
Yeah, and I love Lucy's reactions. Like, everyone out here wants to kill me. Like, what is wrong with everyone? And as you say, finding out that they're using teeth as bullets, it's like, oh god, that's so messed up.
Yeah, I do love it. That's one of the key points for me when she transitions from like Alice in Wonderland. I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah,
I've had a really bad day. I just need to make sure that you're not trying to kill me like anyone else in this stupid wasteland.
Yeah. I love the way she talks to people. It's very from like a polite, well-trained household. Sir, I don't want to hurt you, but I can see here that from this situation, you are being the aggressor.
Yeah, especially when she's talking to the ghoul. Like, and I think he just took it like a double take. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, he's like, what? And like she shoots him with a dart gun. It's like, girl, that is a small drop in a big ocean of drugs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Another key scene I like is so episode 7, literally called The Radio. There's a radio station that's playing fiddle music. And it's like, if you don't like my show, please don't come and tell me that. Just feel free to send a message or something. And so that's DJ Carl, who's played by Fred Armisen, who's basically been in everything. He's been in Parks and Rec. He plays a Colombian police officer in that. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Modern Family, Toast of London, Eurotrip. I love that guy. He's a very specific looking guy, but I love it how that Brotherhood, Squire, who's got the head, goes to him to basically use his radio station to arrange a pickup from the Brotherhood of Steel. He's like, nice booby traps. So like all the at this radio station is surrounded by booby traps.
Yeah, the people who are tired of it.
Oh, it's like some critics just... It's just, I love moments like that. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And also I think you also see like the character development of Lucy's brother. And the fact that maybe both of them have the gene from their mum, which is they're very inquisitive. Like she's more like an optimist that, I'm going to go out to the world to be more optimistic, but he's more like a pragmatist. And then that kind of, you see him then evolve in the series from like a guy who couldn't be bothered to someone who is actually digging deep into understanding, okay, I'm going to go to Vault 32 to see what that's about. Then I'm going to go to 31 to see what's going on there as well.
Yeah, definitely couldn't criticize him for being unenthusiastic in that. I mean, he was great.
He's gone down the ADHD hyperfocus.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stop thinking about this.
Vault 32, 31. I do love that just when they go into Vault 32 and just all the dead bodies and stuff, I was like, God, this is gnarly. And like the writing on the walls, like, we know what's in there, blah, blah, blah. Crazy. And the guy who plays Norman, I can't remember his name, but he was in Hannah Montana. Fun fact.
Oh, was he the brother?
I don't know. I've never seen Hannah Montana. We'll do an episode on Hannah Montana soon. We'll actually have...
just think how like all the Fallout games, it's so many of them start with, I must go outside to find Papa. He's left the vault.
Yeah, it's classic. It's for me, it felt like this is a remake, and I was like, oh no, wait, they progressed the story, but then they've also used elements from Fallout 3, like Finding Daddy, but I guess in this one, Daddy very bad. Speaking of Daddy, Hank McLean, he's played by Kyle Merritt McLachlan, who was also in the 1984 Dune movie. So I saw marketing on Facebook by the Amazon Prime TV, so using that fully to advantage,
He was also in Sex and the City.
Really?
He married Charlotte.
No way. Oh, damn. Wow, he's Lisanad Gaib.
This man has range.
Yeah, he has range.
Yeah. And I think the director was saying that with the TV show, he wanted it to be true to the games and wanted to have like the 3 different characters to make them like 3 different let's say preset sub-storylines within, and potentially like preset RPG characters. And I think that's what kind of like was able to then make them stand out. Because at first, when like the ghoul met up with like Lucy, I thought, oh, this is going to be like
father-son
a father-daughter relationship. The father she's looking for, but then like no, it's like he's cruel to her, and like the fact he then gave her to then have her organs to be harvested so he could get the drug, so then he wouldn't turn feral.
Also using her as bait for the gulper as well. Like, damn.
Or the fact that when she bites off his finger, he then cuts hers off. Like, and this is the first honest exchange we've actually.
That was nuts, though. I wish they gave that a bit more, because let's be honest, if you had your finger cut off, you'd faint. Like, you wouldn't. But I guess this is kind of going with the whole Fallout aesthetic that you could literally get your foot blown off, then take a stim pack and you're fine. But yeah, that's pretty gnarly. I forgot about that, yeah.
Or the fact that she now has a synthetic finger.
Yeah.
And someone else's finger.
Yeah. Devil finger. Yeah, that's very Fallouty, I've got to say.
Or the fact that the people running the organ farm are just these chill stoners. You wouldn't expect that. You'd expect like full-on corporate people, like oh, this is what we're doing. But actually, no, it's just a bunch of stoners who are just chill.
They have those stupid speaker systems. They're like, hey man, could you like not do that?
That's so what I'd be doing at the end of the world, just chilling, eating snacks, watching TV.
Yeah. And then like linking on with that, you had a guy, I forgot what his name, but he calls himself technically president. So it kind of maybe goes into what you were saying, that the actual California Republic is dead. So then you've got individuals who call themselves the law, who then give themselves like titles. Because when the ghoul goes to see him, he's like, oh, so wait, you're president now? And the fact that you wouldn't really see him as a president, more maybe like a sheriff or a mayor, but like he was able to take his men down that quickly. But potentially you've got a situation where the main government, whether the Brotherhood of Steel have kind of like disappeared in the region, California Republic have disappeared. So now you've got like different
big vacuum and not
within
people.
The different settings.
Yeah, and I'd be keen to see what happens with the next series, really, because you see at the end Hank McLean is running off into the distance, and you see he's clearly looking at New Vegas. So I wonder how the story's progressed with that, because also, if you remember playing New Vegas, you can either allow Kaiser's Legion at the NCR or Mr. House in New Vegas. It's like, is Mr. House still alive? Will you see the the courier, who's the main character, the person who plays in New Vegas, will you see him in the next TV show?
Yeah. And I think also, like, with Fallout, you also have to explain to people who don't understand the universe, like, what is a ghoul? If he was there when the nuclear bombs were dropped, how come he's still alive? And also, like, discussing, like, even though the tech looks old, it's still futuristic.
Exactly.
Is another key thing that people are like, wait, but why does that look like from the 1950s? But it's like literally, it can take a heart. The pit boy on their arm can do so many different things, and also the fact that they've got cryogenics, and like we still haven't got that now.
Exactly.
But they had it in the time when the bombs were dropped.
Exactly. It's weird because I was explaining this to a friend of mine who like watched the first episode with me, and she was like, "Wait, why is it 29? If they say 200 years later, why do they say 2998 or something? But everything looks like it's from the 1950s because it's like the whole design of it is like, so basically the bombs, the great nuclear holocaust happens in 2077, in October 2077. And like the society in that is like World War II is the common thing they have of our universe, you know, World War II. And then from then on, things get different. So China, the Soviet Union, and the USA are three superpowers competing against each other. Atomic energy and power becomes something that can be scaled down. So you get literally a car powered by it. So you see advances there. But then in other areas, it's like things seem different. Like computers haven't advanced in the same way as it has with us. Like you've still got that weird green screen design. It's not got the same interface that we have these days. It's getting a bit more user friendly.
The old school IBMs, isn't it? The green and black.
Yeah, exactly. And oh man, do you know when Norman hacks the overseer computer in this, and you see the hacking thing come up, and he's looking for those right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that is probably one of my favorite things. Yeah, 3 more chances left. Oh, shit.
Those shows enhance.
Yeah, but what you do is if you log out, let's say you've got 1 life left on that. You just come out of the computer and then go back in, and you're like, it's reset now. Yeah. And then you got the Americana style of things as well, like Nuka-Cola, the posters, the packaging, how the Fallout Vault Tech stuff is. Very cool, but it can be confusing for people who aren't new to the show, and they might find like how someone get their arm blown off and they just take a stim pack and they're fine, like a bit unrealistic. But I think you have to let that go if you're new to Fallout and you watch the TV show. Like watch it as like a satire with some serious stuff sometimes.
Or even like understanding the cap system that's
the bacon bottle caps. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to explain to someone how like weird and great it is. What do you think is going to happen in season 2?
They'll definitely explore the Ghoul's backstory a bit more. Like he's just found out that his wife is like queen capitalist.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a good revelation. Yeah.
He was trying to think, oh yeah, she's the good person, trying to direct him towards a good cause, but now she's behind the social experiment. You're like, how about we just treat people like little mice?
Let's just blow up the entire planet just for like a corporate KPI, like nuts. But I think the Ghoul's actually looking for his family, because remember he says, now tell me where the fuck's my family? So I wonder if...
Oh, he's just going to bring them back to the vault, probably. Maybe she's in there as an executive.
I think I've read some fan theories. I think I know who it is already, but I'm not going to say anything more because it's such a big... Well, I think it's quite obvious, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But yeah, perhaps they're in there, or maybe he's already interacted with them, because I guess he was exposed to radiation, so was his little girl. Yeah. So maybe she's alive and she's a ghoul, but then the mum might have been frozen elsewhere because they've got divorced. I think they started the series off as divorced, you see in the first episode. So who knows what's happened since the Great War. Maybe they've actually interacted with each other already. But yeah, we can see where that goes.
I also think like building up further with the lore, like we didn't see any super mutants at all.
That's true, yeah.
And like we didn't see any like synths either.
The Institute.
So that could potentially be something they do show off. And then potentially, it's kind of funny, like with everything seems to be up and up for Maximus. Like he was literally knocked out. He wakes up. He then sees that the main enemy,
Moldava,
it ends up dying, and is like, oh. And I think his friend Dale is like, pushing him constantly, and he doesn't really want to. But the fact she's like, oh look, hey, I witnessed him. He's a knight now, and then the fact that he's now going to be an actual knight, and then this could also bring about the rise of the Brotherhood of Steel, because I think what they did was nuclear fusion.
Yeah, cold fusion. Yeah.
So they enabled then to power the city. I keep forgetting what it's called. What's the city called again?
Shady Sands.
To power then Shady Sands, and then you just then think about it that they then could utilize that power to then grow their forces a lot more.
Possibly, yeah. Well, the Brotherhood are really big on preserving technology and limiting people. So they probably will take over Shady Sands in some way.
I mean, what if like Bad Daddy just goes and finds the Legion outside New Vegas, and now he has this Roman Centurion army just coming to take on the NCR?
Yeah, Bad Dad. I know. We'll have to see where that goes. I'm very excited for it. I think I was very impressed by how funny this was at points, like especially. So you want to make my cock explode? And obviously, there's that romance between Maximus and Lucy, which I think is cute because I think it implies that all these people who are raised in the Brotherhood of Steel are told not to have sex and stuff. They're like celibate. Because remember when she's like, they get take you down to Vault 4 and they're chilling.
Yeah,
she's so do you want to have sex? And he's like, huh? With that thing that makes your dick hurt?
And then I think also like they try and make it follow like some kind of like Templar knight type thing.
Yeah.
Especially like having squires, also having like kind of like priests carrying incense as well.
Oh yeah.
And then like
elders and
like having like a holy order of knights. And also I've forgotten who the actor is, who's the main person we see, but I really love his acting, especially in like he was in Mr. Robot.
Who's the main person?
So you know the main person within the Brotherhoods of Steel.
Oh, what the elder?
The elder. So he's in Mr. Robot and plays like a perfect character in that. And just to potentially see like how, because he did say, I want to reshape the Brotherhood, wipe it clean, and then rebuild it. So then potentially we'll then see in the next season how his vision of the actual Brotherhood will then take place and how will it look within California.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And the Brotherhood of Steel, they do seem a bit not evil in this, but they definitely aren't coming across as the good guys. Especially when like Lucy's like, "Oh, the Brotherhood are coming, isn't that they'll help you?" And the guy who's like turning into goes like, "It's complicated. They're a complicated organization." Yeah, so I'd be keen to see where they go. Will they become the main bad guys in this? Possibly. There's also one thing we didn't talk about is the Enclave still seem to exist in Fallout. Because you've got the scientist at the beginning whose head gets cut off. Yeah. He comes from them, so they'll pop up at some point again, I'm sure. That'd be cool to see because that armor looks really cool, like the evil version of the Brotherhood of Steel almost.
You have the Minutemen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, with who's the guy who comes from the Minutemen? Who's just that's one thing I hate about Fallout 4. That guy from the Minutemen showing up all the damn time, saying, "Hurry, another settlement's under attack."
It's like no matter how many times you save the settlement, another one would be then attacked.
Yeah. Oh, it drives me nuts. Honestly, I was just like, "Go away!"
Oh my god, like the annoying fad in Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the one who you can actually murder quite brutally. You just can't. Have you not played this? The tiny guy with the blonde hair. He looks like the villain in Incredibles.
Oh, okay.
But tiny with blonde.
No, I never played Elder. I only played Skyrim. That was it. So I don't know about Elder Scrolls, etc. Because it isn't on Elder Scrolls just basically like Fallout with the same game engine but fantasy version. Or is that such an oversim? I've probably pissed off so many people by saying
you probably
that.
have. I think.
Like structurally speaking, it's like a very sprawling, very well
exploration
built world.
game.
Yeah. Lots of little dungeons to crawl through or vaults. You
love Horvins, organs to be harvested.
Horvins.
Yeah. And I guess we can't not talk about the games. How would you say this rates in comparison to the video games? Like, would you say it's hard to say because it's a video game TV show, but do you prefer the TV show to the video game?
I would have to say the video game, and I think just because the amount of stuff you can do in it. Like I remember even just playing like Fallout 4, the fact that you can have literally a nuke gun and use
the fat man
to use that. And I think also like the mysterious encounters that you can have. Like I remember just roaming through the wasteland in Fallout 4 and then bumping into like a super mutant base and being completely unprepared for it.
Or an alien spaceship or something,
And having to then just leg it, or then you're just walking down, all of a sudden you get these huge mosquitoes attack you out of nowhere. So I think like the game gives you like the freedom to do whatever you want, but then with TV shows it's like you're following the actual design of the creator of that TV show.
Yeah, there's only so much you can interact with it in a way. But that's one thing I loved about the Fallout games. You just go literally just wandering through the wasteland, not even doing any quests. Like that's why I got so absorbed by playing Fallout New Vegas yesterday from the beginning. I was like, I could do the quest in it, or I can just wander in a direction until I get killed by a Deathclaw. Still haven't encountered one yet, but I know that's coming soon. One of the best things about the game, just the wasteland itself. It's such a hideous place, but it's just so much fun you can have there.
I mean, I would mod the shit out of my game. I would be just running around with lightsabers.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Or you change, the chain gun, the minigun in it. You can mod it to fire out mini nukes for like as if it was a fat man. And it's like, it literally, you have to have a really good computer for that. It's nuts. Yeah. And, I think like Fallout 3 was really good for the storyline and also just making Fallout a 3D experience. But I think Fallout New Vegas is still the best one. Especially just with exploring, like you're used to the wasteland in Fallout 3 being really dark and grim and blown apart and grey, whilst in Fallout New Vegas there's lights, there's colours, it's beautiful in its own way. And let's not forget about the DLC as well. Like, did you buy any of the DLC for the previous Fallout games?
I have, but unfortunately I haven't played any of the ones for 4, but probably will go back to it. Yeah,
I played the Far Harbor one for 4. That was pretty good. But in Fallout 3, I think the best one was the Mothership Zeta one. The aliens. So you can always find there's an alien crashed alien spaceship in all the Fallout games. You can find a ray gun from. Fallout 3, you go to that spaceship and you get picked up by aliens and then you get anal probed by them. But then you get to wander around their ship and stuff. It's really, really cool. I love that sort of kookiness about the game. So random. Okay, well, any final thoughts about the Fallout TV series? Anything we didn't mention? Anything you want to see in the season 2? Anything you just loved? Anything you hated?
I would say like more going into like the Institute, because we did get to see the Doctor when he was there. And it kind of felt like...
What, you mean the Enclave?
Oh, no, sorry, the Enclave, yeah.
Yeah.
So when the Doctor was there, you could see, like, especially, which was sad with the puppies, that if it was under 10... Was it 10 grams? It was 10 something that they would then be thrown into the furnace. And the fact that the puppy was able to then save it.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe going in to understand, like, what the Enclave is about, what are they actually looking for, what is their actual goal, and also, what is their link to the Brotherhood of Steel as well? Because, like, everyone knew about the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So was it that every of the different factions then get something from the Enclave, so therefore they were willing to then bring him to the Enclave to get the money for it?
Or maybe, I think it was maybe Moldava or something. But do you know the story behind the Enclave? Like,
no.
Oh, okay. So the Enclave are like the remnants of the U.S. government before the nuclear holocaust they call the Great War. But I say remnants, it was like a deep, so even before the nuclear holocaust, they were basically the deep state within the US government.
Okay.
So the president, I think, the final president just before the nuclear holocaust was actually part of the Enclave. And they're like, slowly US public was starting to find out about them. Then nuclear holocaust happens, and then the Enclave managed to survive, but obviously only a certain amount. So they still try and claim the US government, but they're by far a very evil power. They're like a complete shadow of what the US government once was. Whilst the Brotherhood of Steel, like, they descend from the US Army, who encountered some of the Enclave's experiments just before the nuclear holocaust. And one of the generals in the army then, like, basically destroys the base and then has all these troops with him and is like, what are we going to do? And he's like, I'm going to start a new society where we stop this mistreatment of technology. And then the Brotherhood of Steel evolves from that eventually. Honestly, dive into like the Fallout wiki online. It's amazing. One thing that occurs to my mind that I have to say, a plot hole I found is Lucy and her brother. Yeah. Remember, Lucy's mum discovers that her husband is one of these Vault-Tec executives. So she runs away with Lucy and her brother, right, to the New California Republic where they meet Moldova. How come Lucy and her brother don't remember that?
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
That is weird.
I mean, she does say that when she was a kid, she thought the light, in the vault where they have the cornfields was the sun. Maybe she was so young she can't remember, and that's how they've got away with it. But you'd think she'd remember.
Because I don't remember shit from when I was 4.
Yeah, me too.
True.
I just remember like bad stuff sometimes, but that's it. Or like the taste of something for the first time. Yeah, not important stuff. Anything else?
I mean, my main thought is I kind of want to pee. But besides that, I would really like them to explore more places. So maybe they can go to Rivet City and maybe gather the party. They don't have a robot friend yet.
Yeah,
one that's not trying to harvest the organs, just someone else.
Yeah.
Or a super mutant friend as well to hang along.
I think a Mr. Gusty would be great. That's a really funny moment in Fallout 4. In your speech dialogue, you can always choose a sarcastic option. There's one thing, a Mr. Gusty battle robot comes up to you and is like, does not comply, and you can just say, choose a sarcastic option. You go, does not comply, and then the Mr. Gusty goes, does not comply, and then you go, does not comply, and then eventually it self-destructs. That was one of my favorite things in Fallout 4, the sarcastic option. It was brilliant.
Oh, you did say you had like some lore on Philly as well.
Oh yes, Philly, where they had that big shootout at the beginning. It's not called Philly because it's Philadelphia, because one is in the wrong part of the country anyway, but it's just called Philly because it's built on a landfill, which is just great. Okay. That's how human society is surviving. Oh, well remembered. That's about it. So that's all we have time for today, folks. I hope you've been enjoying the Fallout TV show. I certainly have. I can't wait to see a bit more of the gruesome violence and weird humor about it. If you really liked our show, please click the notification button and give us a like. If you want to leave a comment saying how much you love me specifically, then please do. I might respond, I might not.
It's okay, I love you.
You'll be commenting back, won't you? Anything you want to say to the folks out there before we go?
I'd say anyone who's watched the show, please play the games. They're really great. And to your point, everyone online says that New Vegas is their favorite, so I'm probably going to give that a go. And because a lot of the games
will be cheap as well,
or like on Xbox Game Pass as well. So if anyone who's got that subscription, just download the game and play it.
Yeah, do it. Anything you want to say?
Nah, thanks for having me. We can just pop to CX, go find.
Yeah, there's one in Camden Town. We'll go there. Yeah. Let's get some games. Well, that's all, folks. You've been listening to the Two Maesters. We'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.
See you, folks.
Bye.